Hey everyone, this is Joyful Anime 19 back at you in a new What If video, and this is part 2 of What If Deku had Slenderman's powers. And in this What If we left off on the explosion and the slime villain already in the police custody, and Deku goes over there of what's happening, and he already had like superhuman he already like has superhuman his abilities, as he has like enhanced ability, so he runs over there as fast as he can. So he's like faster than a cheetah, and he's already there, and All Might goes over there as well, but he already ran out of time, and he debuffs, Deku is now seeing what's happening, and he hears the crowd, and he's hearing all this. They're saying that some villain just attacked. It's another villain attack, and it seems that the heroes can't do anything because the villain has a hostage with him. And let's see who should be the next villain that Deku tries, Deku will have no chance to go up against. Let's see. It'll be with a villain with a wind quirk, and he tells the heroes that if they come any closer, then he'll kill the hostage he has. But he really won't do that because he has only one hostage, and all the other hostages got away or were already dead. And the heroes back off. They step back, and Deku. Sorry, I've just been watching too many What If Asta videos. I'm thinking about doing one myself, maybe later on. And I have to say that I'm really sorry that I haven't been posting any What If videos. It's because I just started college, and I get really tired every time I come back home. So I'll try to make What If videos as much as I can. Okay, let's get back to the story. Deku gets angry at this, and so does All Might, and he's also getting mad at this that he can't do anything. Deku gets angry. He runs there, and the heroes see this, and they try to grab Deku, but they can't because he's running too fast, and he lunges right at the villain. He tackles him onto the ground, and he's like unconscious, and he sees the hostage, and let's see, who should the hostage be? It should be someone who's a first year. But who should it be? I read on Google and the Wikipedia, and there have been like these new characters that probably the people will probably add them in the series of My Hero Academia. So I think it'll be a girl who has pale skin, and her quirk will be called Ink, because she can like control and manipulate ink, and she can also generate ink from her body, but only a limited amount. Let's see. And Deku sees her, and actually I don't know what the name for her is. So yeah, I'll think of the name later on. So if any of you have an idea of what her name should be, then comment down below of what you think Deku of what the girl's name should be. You know, the girl with the pale skin who has scary eyes, but really is kind and gentle, and her quirk is called Ink. You guys can comment down below what you think her name should be, and it has to be like in Japanese or, well, actually that, you know, just comment down below what you think her name should be. Deku picks her up and tells her to run to the villain. I mean, run to the heroes. Run to the heroes. Sorry. To run to the heroes, and she does. And the reason why he told her to do that is because the villain is already gaining consciousness, and Deku stays and fights, and the villain wakes up, and he's really angry and he says, "Damn it, brat! You piece of shit! That was my last chance. You should have never gone in my way." And then Deku says, Whatever, dude. I was not like gonna stand there and just let you hurt someone." And then the villain lunges at Deku with his quirk, and Deku also activates his quirk, and he manifests these tentacles from his back, and he slaps the villain into the wall, and the villain gets back up, and then Deku uses one of his tentacles to grab him and then slap him, then knock him into the wall again. And then Deku would throw him into the air, and then jump right at him, and then punch him right in the face, making him pass out. And that's how it went down. Deku grabs the villain, and he's already unconscious again. And the building is about to collapse, so he gets out of there. So he gets the hell out of there, and the building collapses, and right behind Deku, and he brings the villain. He has the villain. He gives it to the heroes, and the media was about to go full force on Deku to get the latest scoop and ask him, but Deku is really shy. He doesn't want to ask any questions. So he uses his tentacles to grab hold of a building and launches himself into the air. And All Might sees this, and he believes that this kid, he may be the one to inherit One for All. And well, let's see. He already had candidates, but they declined the offer of One for All, and let's see, Mirio's why he declined the offer for One for All was because he can't. He doesn't want One for All because it would because that would mean he just got he just borrowed he just has a borrowed power because he has borrowed power and he wants to be a hero with his own power. The other big three also declined the offer for One for All. And so All Might was actually betting that maybe some very first year would come along and he would give it One for All to them. But now he sees Deku, who who um who go who who is now will become the candidate for One for All, and he stops Deku and he chases after Deku and he goes to his buff form and he stops Deku and he says, I am here, and then the Deku will be like, like in the canon version, as saying why All Might is here, and then All Might would say, well, Deku gave out his name, and he would say, Young Midoriya, the reason why I'm here, and he did buffs, and Deku would say, are you an imposter? And then All Might says, no, I'm not an imposter. Here, let me explain my situation. And he explained what happened to him 2 years ago against the villain Toxic Chainsaw. And everyone keeps forgetting of who the villain was, but we all know it was All for One, not Toxic Chainsaw. But they call it the fight against Toxic Chainsaw. So yeah, that's the villain that he was up against, Toxic Chainsaw. And Deku is like it's really sad that he's hearing this, and his favorite hero is like injured, has this very fatal wound, has this wound that could have killed him, but he's still up and running, but he's still good, and he has he has even more respect for All Might. And All Might tells him about One for All, and Deku hears this, and he is baffled because he can't believe that he can't believe that a quirk like this actually exists. And so yeah, Deku is crying, and he says, "Are you sure that I'm worthy, All Might? Aren't there other candidates than me that are worthy of One for All?" And then All Might says, there were other candidates, but they also declined the offer for One for All. Why would anybody decline this power? They have good reasons. And then Deku agrees and he says that we'll do a 10-month training regimen where you have to go through grueling training. That's what All Might would say. And Deku would say, sure, I'll be ready. And so it's already the next day. Deku is already at the beach. And All Might says that you'll be cleaning up the garbage here because it will help you build up even more strength than you already have right now. And then Deku says, okay, I'm ready for this. I am so ready for this. And then Deku goes on and doesn't use his superhuman strength. He uses his natural strength to pick the trash up. And It takes them about and Deku is now, and it's already the 9th month, and All Might says, "Wow, you're only 10, and you're only 9 months early." And All Might says that you can't stop training because you need to keep training because One for All demands even more power and even more strength because it gets stronger as it's passed down to the next generation, to one generation to the next. Deku understands this. Deku understands this, and he agrees that he should keep training. And All Might gives him One for All. He gives him a sliver of his hair to Deku, and All Might says, "Eat it. I mean, eat this." And then Deku will be like, "Say what?" And then All Might explains, and then Deku would say, "It's just not what I picture. It's just not what I imagine in my. It's just not what I imagine it would be like." And then All Might says, "Come on, kid. Come on, kid. Just eat it." And then All Might says, "Eat, eat, eat." And then Deku will be kind of like frightened and a little scared. And then he swallows the piece of hair, and he tells All Might that, "Just remember what I said. Don't stop training. Never stop training, because you can never stop, because you must always improve." And wait a minute. No, Deku and then Deku agrees, and he keeps training. He's training, and Deku is now about really ready, and he's confident that he's. And let's see, Deku now has about 12% of One for All, and he also learns full cowling, and learns to spread around his body. And Deku is a really smarter than canon version Deku. So Deku will be ready, and sorry. Now Deku is now at the entrance ceremony, and he doesn't meet Bako just yet. He does sit right next to Bakugo, but before he goes into the entry to take the Rin test, he sees a girl who slips and is about to fall. Deku uses his tentacles to catch her and puts her on her feet, and then Deku says, "It's a really bad omen if you fall on your face. If you fall on your face on a big day, on a really important day." And Uraraka will be like blushy, like really blushing, and it says thank you. It says that I'm a little nervous. I'm just a bit nervous. This is really happening. And Deku agrees, and they are talking, and then they get in, and then they are told to, and they are stopped by two people saying that they are to take separate seats, and they're given seat numbers. And Deku is sitting right next to Bakugo, and Bakugo sees Deku, and then he says, then he says, "Don't get in my way. Don't get in my way, weakling." And then Deku says, "What?" And then Bakugo says it again, "You heard me. I said, don't get in my way, weakling. And then Deku would say, what? What's wrong with this guy? Does he really think he's superior? And then Deku, and then President Mike would explain everything. He leaves nothing out, and he also explains about the 0-point robot. And the sprint test begins, and Deku actually does a lot better. He gets number 1, and he's at the battle zone, and Deku is already stretching, and Ida is looking at him that he has this like intimidating look in his eyes, and he goes over, and Deku goes over to the gate, to the big gate to the city, goes to the entrance to the city, and then Ada was about to, and then Ada looks and says, and then he looks ahead and he believes that he was about to mess with that girl, you know, Uraraka. And then Deku says, no, I wasn't, let go. And then Deku says, no, I wasn't. I was just going in front of the gate. You're obviously lying. You're obviously lying. I know there are others who would do anything to get in, so back away. And then Deku says no. And he would give and then Ida will be like scared because Deku is looking straight at him in the eye, and then Ida will be so scared that he let goes. And then Deku goes on ahead, tries to get in front of the gate, but then President Mike says, okay, everyone, you have exactly 1 hour to complete this course. And then everyone is ready. Then President Mike counts down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, 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 go! And then the doors open and everyone runs inside, including Deku. He destroys a bunch of robots. When the first moment he gets in. And everyone is like, and everyone doesn't like pay attention to Deku because they can't be dumbstruck up someone else's quirk. So Deku gets a fairly amount of points. And then he hears a scream. Then he uses his tentacles to destroy robots and make them cry. And he puts the robots in the air on top of another robot, and then they blow up. And then Deku will keep punching robot to robot and crushing them using One for All. Everyone is like amazed, but they can't be dumbfounded by this because they need to have points. And then Deku hears this feels this big vibration in the ground. He goes there to the cause, and he sees his 0-point robot, and everyone's running away from it because it's worth 0 points. Deku was about to walk away, and then he hears a girl crying, and he hears a girl calling for help, and then Deku goes over there and helps her. By using One for All and his superhuman strength. He uses an energy blast to like shoot the robots, blast half to destroy half of the robot's body with One for All in it. and then everyone is like amazed and dumbfounded, and they're and they look at Deku, saying, "How strong is this guy?" And then Deku goes over there to Uraraka and picks up the rubble from her to help her get up. And then Uraraka blushes. And then Deku says, "Hey, hey, it's you, Uraraka." And then Uraraka will be like blushing, looking at Deku, like her knight in shining armor. And then Deku says, "Oh man, we only have 5 minutes left. Here, I'll carry you. You need to get." And then Uraraka would say, "What are you doing? You need to get points, don't you? I'll help you out. I'll help you out by carrying you. Then you can use. I'll help you out." Then Uraraka is still blushing and says, "Okay." And then Deku rushes at all the robots he can find for Uraraka. And Uraraka gets a fairly good amount of points, but not enough that Deku has. And he does, and the whole thing ends, and Deku and everyone is waiting for their acceptance letter. Deku still trains a bit more, and he tries to work out everything with full cowling, because it makes him feel like he's unable to move, and he masters it. He learns he masters it, and now he's able to move freely. Now he's only at like 13%, now at 14%, and then, well, that's actually where we're going to leave it off for now. No, wait a minute. I think I can keep going just a little bit longer. Then his acceptance letter comes in, and then his mom gives it to him, and he goes in his room and he opens it, and a projection, holographic projection comes in, and that it's like in canon version, All Might explains that not only did you do good in the Rin test, but not only did you get number 1 in the Rin test, but you also beat UA's history in. But you also beat UA's record history for getting the most villain points. And not only that, you got 60 rescue points for saving this one girl, and for helping her get points as well. It's so Deku is like sad. It's like crying out of happiness, and then he's in this. That he finally made it, and it's over. And Inko hears this, and she prepares food for Deku for the celebration for him for becoming a hero. Well, we're actually going to leave it off here for now. So wait for the next part. Wait for part 3 of What If Deku Had Slenderman's Powers. And I will be making more What If videos. I just gotta find the time to making more of them, because I'm now in college, and yeah, it's gonna be hard, but I'll find a way to get through it all. So thank you everyone, and this is me, Joyful Anime 19, signing off.